This is Belinda. Belinda is a filmmaker and video editor. Belinda is currently working on a big project. But Belinda is missing some crucial shots for her project. Nope. Not here. But what if there was a place she could find all the shots she needs and more? You go, girl. Get that money. Yes, you guessed right. Today's video is sponsored by Artgrid. And we're also talking about Artgrid. What it is, how we've been using it in the past, and how you can use it to level up your filmmaking. More of this after the intro. You guys know I don't really do a lot of sponsored videos because I only like to endorse companies and services of which I really like and use their service. And Artgrid is one of those. We've been using Artgrid way before they even reached out to us asking to sponsor this video because we really do like their service and the idea behind it. By now we've all heard of Artlist, that one-stop solution for amazing music that you can use on all of your project because the license covers everything. And the guys from Artlist now expanded their service and founded Artgrid. And that is basically the same thing, but with stock footage. And I really do like the idea of unlimited usage because you don't have to worry about using this shot or that shot. And for example, you edit a video for a client and you use stock footage. And then when the project is done, they ask you, hey, do you have a shot of an astronaut floating in space? And now you would have to download this, license it, and add this to the bill for your client. And obviously they might not be happy about it. But now with Artgrid, you just type it in, you use that shot, and if they don't like it, you exchange it for another one. So you don't have to worry about licensing extra footage because you can just use them all, you can just try it out, just download them and use them on whatever project you like. And when looking at some of the other stock footage sites, one of their 4K clips actually costs about $200, sometimes $300 to license. And with Artgrid, you almost pay as much for their entire library for an entire year. So what have we been using Artgrid for? As you've already seen in our intro, Belle is working on a really big project, and that project is taking place all over the world. And at this stage, she's creating social media content and ads for this project. And usually we like to shoot as much as possible ourselves, but especially due to Corona, we can't travel. And the first venue that this project will actually take place in is in London. So she actually needed some shots of London to create social media content around it and an ad. And now she just went on Artgrid and she found exactly what she needed. And she's been hired to create content every month. So she needs a lot of variety, she needs unlimited shots, and she just can't afford to license every single shot. Obviously, there's also a lot of her original content in it, but to spice it up, she actually makes use of Artgrid's huge library of all their entire footage. And she's been creating amazing stuff with it. And as I've already mentioned, the license covers everything. She can use it for the social media content, but she can also create ads with it. And the cool thing is she can also combine shots, edit shots, and she's been using some of their time lapses combined and turned a day shot into a night shot, or even made an entire composite out of it and used it for their ads. And I think it turned out pretty nice. So why do I like Artgrid more than all the other stock footage sites? And there's basically two things. Number one I already talked about, and that is their one license covers everything solution, because I don't have to worry about which clip I'm going to use or which clip I'm going to edit with. I can just download as many as I want and just be free and don't have to worry about anything. And number two, and this might actually be the bigger reason for me, is their crazy quality, because they're really picky of who can actually upload to Artgrid, what cameras they use, and what kind of quality they upload in. Because I've been using some other stock footage sites way in the past, and I also had to wade through so many bad shots that weren't color graded right, or they were in really low quality, until I actually found some shots that I could actually use. And when going to Artgrid, there's basically one banger after the other, and the quality is absolutely stunning. And depending on what license you chose, you can not only get the 4K file, but you can also get the ungraded log file or even a raw file. So you get all the flexibility, because that is also one thing that I don't like about other stock footage sites. It's really hard to integrate some of their clips into our own footage because you can't really match the colors, and it's really hard to really match the quality. But with Artgrid, where I'm getting raw files or log files, I can just grade it however I want it, and I can actually really easily integrate it into one of our projects. And speaking of crazy quality, here's a fun fact for you, because I've actually been in contact with Artgrid before they even launched their site, and I wanted to be one of the dedicated filmmakers, and luckily for us, they even approved us. But then when they sent me their beta link and I was looking at all the crazy footage that was already on their site, filmed by such amazing content creators all around the world, at some point I really felt like our footage wasn't good enough. And since we just sold our C200 waiting for an upgrade, we didn't even have the camera to shoot such high quality content for Artgrid, so we did put a pin into it. Now, pretty much a year later, we actually started uploading, and you can actually see our stories on there as well, and we will be contributing a lot of our own footage onto Artgrid in the near future as well. So yeah, overall I really do like Artgrid. I like their licensing options, and I also like that I don't have to wait through a lot of bad looking footage to finally find what I'm looking for, because basically whenever I find something, the quality is absolutely amazing. But that's not all, and it does get even better. At which point did I start sounding like an infomercial at 2 AM in the morning trying to sell you pots and pans on a local news station? Anyway, so it does get better, because if you sign up through our link in the description below, you get 2 months added to your subscription at the end of the year. So what are you waiting for? So not only can you find like really high production value, Hollywood looking footage on there, but you can also find some stuff about recent events and what's going on in the world right now. So if you need this to integrate into some kind of ad or for a client, then it's also there. And the library is just growing every day. So there you have it. I hope you did like this video, and if you did actually like the video, subscribe for more, because I also have another use case for Artgrid, but I will do a complete dedicated video about that in the future. So subscribe to actually see that, and I hope to see you on the next one.